Okay guys, this is going to come off as a little shocking to you, but the Saga Man movie Part 1 isn't actually my first ever movie. I know, shocking. If you've been around my social media since 2020, you probably know that, well, I used to do Thomas content. In fact, I've given pretty subtle hints on this channel actually. From some flat-out satirical jabs at that content in my Welcome to My Channel videos, to an April Fool's video dedicated to quote-unquote joining back in the fandom. And you're probably saying, haha Segbra, that's some funny satire, now go back to making videos about the Saga Man movie. But here's the thing, this isn't satire. I actually am going to rewatch the Timothy movie and do a review on it. So I'll be right back. It's okay. I personally think it's a 6.7 out of 10. It's alright for a first step into filmmaking, but looking at it as like a film reviewer and not as the creator, it's painfully average. I mean, like, for the time, since I was like, what, 14 when I made this movie? It's not bad for a 14-year-old to make. But before I get into the problems I have, and what I would like to fix next time I do this, if I ever do a Timothy reboot, I should actually review the movie. And you know what? I'll just explain the problems as I go along. So starting off, we got the Britt Allcroft logo. No, she did not make this movie. I just really like the old Britt Allcroft logo because it's better than the new shit, and I think everyone can agree on that. Next, it shows a dreamy, echoey montage of the Magic Railroad chase. And here comes with our first continuity error. Wait, what? We're not that part of the story yet? Oh, okay, my bad. So then Thomas wakes up from a nightmare. Wait a minute. Doctor Strange 2 rips off the story of Timothy? I wanna sue So then after he wakes up, it cuts to the next day. The Fat Controller informs Thomas that Lady is gonna be coming to Sodor. And on rewatch, there is no explanation why, which, yeah. I kinda wish that I had this film logic back when I was 14, but that was back when I was 14, so... So then it shows a montage of Thomas and Lady doing work all around the island. Which, I should also mention this. At the time I was filming, I didn't exactly have a Sodor map yet, so I just used Kickstarter County. Yeah, apologies for it not looking normal. Even though this movie's technically 3 years old, but let's not worry about that. So then, it cuts to Thomas, Lady, and all the other engines, all at night at the sheds. And it's time to tell ghost stories because it's apparently almost near Halloween, even though they don't mention it yet. And Edward tells the story of the ghost train. And aside from Alfred the B-12 being there, it's basically the exact same as the creepypasta. I will not go in depth about the creepypasta because that would be filler. So after he tells the story of the ghost train, Thomas gets angry and goes to storm off to Sir Topham Hatt. I don't know what name to use for him, shut up. So they have this conversation about engines he scrapped and how he's not really the same person as he was back then anymore. Yada yada yada, generic argument. So then Thomas goes back to the sheds and notices that Percy and Toby aren't there. Why is that? They were out looking for the ghost train. I should also probably mention that this is actually sort of a ripoff. I got comments about it back then, but I'm willing to point them out now. Because while the Saga Man movie Part 1 has a fully original plot, Timothy was kind of just a mix match of Kane fans' Timothy movie and what was popular at the time, the new story of Alfred the Fallen B-12. Yeah, who remembers that? So they encounter Timothy and they run back to the sheds, warning everyone. So it turns out that Timothy is back, and all the engines are afraid. So Thomas and Gordon agree to all go to sleep, and they do. The next day, Thomas talks to Sir Topham Hatt about Timothy coming back, and Toby comes in too. The three talk about getting a plan to get rid of Timothy. They also mention that they hope they can get rid of him. So then later that night, the Fat Controller and Henry go out to, well, find Timothy. And they do successfully. He's still on the island. So then after that, Henry comes and reports back to Thomas and the others, saying that Timothy is still there. Thomas then tells the plan to everyone, and everything sets out in good motion. Then the chase begins, and to be honest, it's actually my favorite part. It's not that bad. The footage, mostly, is great, and the lighting, mostly, is good. So for phase 1 of the chase, Timothy chases Percy, Toby, and Lady, and they successfully fool him. Next, he chases James and Emily. They also successfully fool him. And then, the final part comes. Thomas and the Fat Controller approach on the bridge with dynamite. Timothy meets them there. They have a few line exchanges, the Fat Controller throws the dynamite, and Timothy gets sent flying right off the bridge. Yay, the heroes did it! So then everyone meets up at the bridge after Timothy's dead and after Thomas monologues. And it turns out, it's almost Halloween! And apparently there's a festival going on in Sodor. So everyone leaves to go in the festival as Lady narrates us out of the movie. And it ends with a neat little reference to that one Thomas shot that is way better than in this movie. Oh wait, no. There's a post-credit scene with Diesel 10. Now it's the end. So, what did I think of this after rewatching it? I don't know, it's alright. It's okay. Still a 6.7 out of 10. An okay start in the filmmaking. But upon rewatch 3 years later, there is a ton that could have been improved. A lot of the dialogue is not really that great, and some stuff isn't followed up on. And this is stuff that could honestly be fixed in a remake. However, it's just an idea. I'm not fully on board with the project.
Haha, get it? It's a train joke!
And I'm still more passionate about the Sega Man movie Part 1. And looking back at Timothy and then watching some of the stuff I made for Part 1 of the Sega Man movie, honestly, my writing and animation skills have improved massively. To the point where it's actually kind of jarring. And I know, the more animation experience, the better it gets. This was in 2020, and this is in 2023. Like, of course it's gonna get better. I'm just still kinda shocked. I don't know what else to say. And so that now leaves the question. Monsieur! Does this mean Thomas content is back?
No!
Obviously not. I still hate the fandom as well as my old Thomas animations. But to be honest, looking at some stuff the fandom has made is actually kind of good. A lot of people say that Project Tiger Moth is a masterpiece, and honestly, I kinda agree. Plus, there are some Thomas YouTubers that I actually still watch sometimes, given it's mostly their non-Thomas content. Like with The Unlucky Tug, I mostly just watch his regular film content like his Pixar videos and his Star Wars videos. But I honestly don't mind some Thomas videos. But no, that does not mean I'm returning back to the Thomas fandom to make train content again. I still never want to go back there, and the idea of a Timothy remake is just an idea. It's not a full-on thing. Yet. I might make it if I ever get bored, but that's far in the future. Not anytime soon. And if anyone is subscribing me specifically for this video, please do not look forward to any Thomas content. Because, as I said many times, I'm not doing them ever again. The Sega Man Studios 27 era is over, man. And it's been over. And if anyone's subscribing just for my animations, thank you. Feel free to stick around for the content I like doing. And with that said, that brings this review to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As well as maybe follow my other social media while you're at it.